Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So what happened today? Why did Bitcoin dump? Why did cryptos dump all of a sudden? I think we know why. It's due to one person, Fed Chair Powell. So what did he say exactly? Let me sum it up for you guys and talk about what to expect. All right, let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm low on energy. This is my fifth stream today. No, fourth. Yeah. So a little tired. Also a little tired of this guy right here. Whatever. I think a lot of you guys tuned in, right? A lot of you guys tuned in, listened to what was said. There's just something fishy about this whole thing. All right. We knew ahead of time that Powell was not going to raise rates this time, right? There was going to be a pause. And I think he knew that. And I think the other Fed presidents and governors knew that. So they had to upset the market in some way. So rather than just say, okay, we're pausing and evaluating, they released this poll. Somehow there was a poll conducted ahead of time, and every single person on that poll decided that the Fed fund rate needed to be higher by the end of the year. Okay, how much higher? Well, 0.5% higher to be exact. Okay, so this is what it looks like. May dots versus June dots. Okay, so previously, 5% was the consensus. By the end of the year, if the Fed fund rate was between 5 and 5.25, it was good. Somehow, every single person that voted now have decided, well, that's not enough. Let's vote at 5.6%. So that, of course, has spooked the market because it makes no sense to declare that we need to have 2 more rate hikes when today Powell said we're pausing. Why not just keep going then? Why would you compound very bad news with good news? It must be done intentionally. So during this FOMC meeting, the reporters also knew what was up. Today there was actually some good questions, direct questions like, why? Why would you not just raise it now? Rip off the Band-Aid, why pause and then do it? And Powell had some lame answer for that. Well, we've always been talking about how fast how fast to raise the rates, and then also how much to raise the rates, and they're not indicative of each other. So this time we decided to pause rate because we were going too fast, right? We're going to sell off some equities, sell off some assets, right? And then we'll evaluate, but then, we may have to raise more rates. Just like dancing around the question, right? There was no reason for that poll to exist, okay? And it's irrelevant what the other guys say because ultimately Powell's the one that's deciding. So why? We always have this problem where you have all these Fed president and governors around the nation from St. Louis or Cleveland or Philadelphia making these wild predictions, swing the market, when in fact they're not the ones in charge of the Fed fund rate. Okay? Powell is. He's the man. He makes the decision. Right? So I don't know why we always have this song and pony dance. Is that how you say it? I don't know. With all these other Fed governors and presidents, right? Why was this poll done today? Today was supposed to be a good day. We were supposed to have a pause and that's it. Instead, everyone's focused on this 5.6%, which means we need 2 more 25 basis point hikes. Now, the good news is, if there was any, I don't know, Powell kind of said, well, just because the poll said this doesn't mean that we're actually going to do it. He's like, we're going to evaluate. We're going to see what happens. So this next one, this FOMC meeting in July, does not necessarily mean we're going to go up. Okay, so he was kind of backtracking a little bit. But people just didn't believe him. Those reporters were on him. And one guy asked a really good question about fiscal responsibility. Basically, he was asking Powell, are you going to talk to Congress about not spending more? Because if our deficit continues to go up and the U.S. continues to print more money and spend more money that we don't have, well, that's counterintuitive to what you're trying to do, right? And he blatantly said, no, I'm not going to do that. That was funny because, this whole time, I don't know how many months it's been, over a year of rate hikes and all this stuff that we've been talking about in terms of cutting inflation. The one thing that he doesn't talk about, he's not allowed to talk about, is the fact that the U.S. just printed too much money. That's why we have entrenched inflation. Even though he keeps saying, I hope inflation does not become entrenched, it has been. Price of goods, price of services have not come down at all within the last 2 years. In fact, they're still going up. If you've eaten out recently at a restaurant, you'll know how expensive it is for meals. If you shopped at a supermarket recently, you would know how expensive it is, right? The only things that have come down are energy prices and also things like cars, because supply chain issues have gone away. Now cars these manufacturers do have chips, right? So the only commodities that have come down are the ones that kind of solved itself because there's no supply chain issues and energy prices coming down. But everything else is still elevated, right? So it's a pipe dream for the Fed to get the rate down to 2%. It's not going to happen. If it happens, the U.S. will probably be in depression because the Fed fund rate will probably be much higher than 5.6. Even in fact, today they talked about, what about, 6% or whatever it is, right? Is 5.6 really enough? Can we go to 6? And how long do we have to stay there, right? And then he didn't want to answer any of these questions. He's like, we'll just wait and see. But he keeps talking about how unemployment's low, the labor force is tight, credit is tight, but not that tight. Basically, he's saying there's still too much money. Everyone is still spending, and we need to make everyone more broke in order to really bring inflation down to 2%. But it's not going to happen when the government keeps printing more money. Why did we just raise the debt ceiling in the U.S.? Because we want to print more money. Trillions more, not just a few billions, trillions more. That's going to add to inflation. Again, counterintuitive to what Powell is doing, right? So it's just this nasty death circle. And my theory is the only reason why he paused this time around was to try to save the banks. Because a lot of banks are struggling right now, hardcore. And we're not hearing about it, but I know it's happening. There's a lot of smaller banks and regional banks that are probably suffering because they have no business. They have no business. All their money is tied into bonds. And you know what? If there's another rate hike, it's going to cause a lot more pain. So that's probably, if I had to speculate, and I am, that's probably the only reason why we had a pause today. But, again, releasing the stupid poll, saying we're going to get 2 more, just absolutely wrecked everything. Wrecked the markets, U.S. markets, wrecked Bitcoin. Bitcoin took a big dump afterwards, right? And it all sucks. So that's what I have to say about that. Quite angry about this whole situation here. Liquidations reach almost 130 million. Bitcoin dropped briefly below 25,000. Now it's a little bit better, but still not too much better. Still not. This morning we were at 26, right? It looked like we were going to get some momentum. Obviously, that didn't happen due to this, right? So it kind of sucks. Now, one person from Bloomberg, Mike McGlone, thinks that the reason why Bitcoin and crypto are not going up is because U.S. bonds are sucking the liquidity out. Because U.S. bonds are now paying 5%. And these big boys rather get paid 5% than hold on to crypto. At least that's what Mike McGlone thinks, right? And it kind of makes sense for people and maybe institutions that want to be very, very conservative. Very conservative. Because even 5% is still below core inflation rate. So you're still actually losing. You're just losing less, right? But maybe that does make sense. Maybe that's the reason why right now we're not seeing a whole lot of strength in Bitcoin and crypto, because there are some delusional people out there that thinks it's better to hold US bonds than hold the future, which is Bitcoin, right? There are going to be people that are like that. They will be proven wrong in the long term. Right now, that may be the case. And because the SEC, all the fear the SEC has caused, and more fear that Fed Chair Powell caused, you know, there's just a lot of FUD right now. There's a lot of FUD right now, okay? And looking at this, Bitcoin has never, ever experienced a period, and we're 490 days in, where year-to-year price is still in the negative. The previous longest run was about 389 days, 86 days. We're 490, right? What does that mean? Well, environment is different. The macro conditions are different. Previous times, we were in a bull market. Right now, we're not. The U.S. is in a recession. The world is in recession, right? So it's a little bit different. But look at the times when we break out of red, when we go into the green, and we go positive year to year. Traditionally speaking, or historically speaking, you see a really, really, really good run, okay? So we're at the cusp of that. We're not quite there yet because we're not at the halving event, but traditionally speaking, that's when it happens, okay? So don't be giving up just because it looks fearful now, just because it sucks right now, and it may be stagnant right now, okay? But you don't want to be giving up. This mid-cycle top that we have experienced before a huge, massive run, we haven't seen that yet. We will. We haven't seen that yet. So that's also coming. Another reason why you don't want to be giving up, okay? Because, again, we haven't seen it yet. But we will get there. We will. So, yeah. What else is there? Well, we got developments happening too. Innovations that's happening, right? Strike, which utilizes Lightning Network. Well, now they're offering remittance to Mexico. So now you could send money to Mexico basically for free. It's almost feeless. Okay, you use Western Union, you use whatever other payment. It's like $20, $100, whatever it may be. You use Strike app. You could utilize Bitcoin's Lightning Network to send money basically worldwide, right, for almost nothing, for pennies, right? So there's still a lot of innovations happening right now, okay? So there's a lot of good stuff. And the fundamentals of Bitcoin has never, ever, ever been better. Yep. And it's not just Bitcoin. It's not just Bitcoin, right? I know right now there's a lot of FUD around crypto in general, the SEC and Gary and attacking everyone, while other projects continue to move forward and onwards and upwards, because crypto is not just a US thing, right? So looking at Ethereum, total ETH locked in. Look at that skyrocketing right now, right? It was a gradual climb, and now it's like doing this. Because now people have no fear about not being able to withdraw their ETH. Plus, liquid staking is sky high, right? So Ethereum definitely moving forward. And all the dApps, all the tokens, all the DeFi continue to move forward. And Polygon has some news. They're going to bring millions into Web3 with this Flipkart partnership, which is a big e-commerce company in India, okay? Polygon also started their ventures. Just came out their ventures company. They're going to start investing. Polygon, even though declared a security by Gary Gensler, they don't care. They continue to move forward and build. And also, their ZK EVM has just hit 1 million transactions. So they are definitely moving forward. So there's a lot of innovations that's still happening, a lot of projects still moving forward, despite Gary doing his best to try to stop innovation. So don't fall for it, okay? We will get through this. It's just scary right now, but we will get through it. And then lastly, I saw this, Voyager. A lot of you guys angry about Voyager. It may soon be reopened to distribute funds to creditors. I mean, it's this whole thing. Again, due to SEC. Binance was go buy Voyager and distribute right away. But of course, the SEC threw a wrench in that, saying, no, Voyager security, everything's a security, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Binance pulled out, right? So now we got to wait for this, wait longer. But hopefully, those of us that have money in Voyager will get something back rather than nothing. But it's been a long time, over a year of waiting, right? A long, long time. All right. That is pretty much it. And today is Wednesday. So today's DCA day. So I brought it up. For 1 week, we're down about 10%. That sucks. That sucks. We don't want to see this go in the opposite direction. We want to see it come up. And you can see here, it's been doing pretty well, going up, and then boom, recently. SEC FUD, right now, macro FUD. It kind of sucks. But the good news is, you want to buy when things are low. You want to buy when things are cheap. So today is actually an excellent day to be DCAing, because the last few times I've been DCAing when things are high, right? So, what to DCA today? Can't go wrong with Bitcoin. Can't go wrong with Ethereum. Can't go wrong with Polygon. Can't go wrong really with any of these that I have in the portfolio. So, you know what I'm just going to do? I'm just going to do... I don't know. I'm just going to split evenly with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Can't go wrong with those two right now. And I'm kind of light with Ethereum. So I think I'm going to do Bitcoin and Ethereum. So $50 into 0.00199. And then I'm going to do Ethereum. All right. The two that are not declared securities, even though Gary does want to declare Ethereum security, he has not done so. So Bitcoin and ETH. Can't go wrong with that combination. All right, let's do some Q&A. Crypto Wealth, I hope you attended the Twitter spaces that I just conducted with the Flux team. So if you want to know what I think, go listen to the spaces on Twitter. All right, scrolling through here. Let's see if I missed anything. Let's see. Coma says 25K is still better than 15K. Yeah. It's 10K better, that's for sure. Let's see. I'm broke from panic buying. That's why you're not supposed to panic buy. You're supposed to DCA over long haul. Let's see. Buy the X coins. XRP, XM, XDC. I don't know about that. All right, I think I caught up here. Little Caesars pizza. I have not had Little Caesars since I was like a little kid. I don't remember the last time I had Little Caesars. I thought they went bankrupt, but I guess not. Do you think newer POW coins could have a narrative for pumps? No. I don't think it has nothing to do with it. If they pump, it doesn't matter if they're POW or POS. No. What does Hourglass do? They're an incubator. They incubate things like the next crypto gem and other projects. So that's what they do. How would you DC 900 monthly or allocate it? That's a lot. That's a lot per month. Probably split it up couple ways. I mean, 2 ways. You know, maybe bi-weekly, right? Pick the ones that you like, the coins that you like, and it could just be one. It could just be Bitcoin or Bitcoin ETH, or maybe you throw some Cardano or BNB or whatever you want to throw in there, right? Stick with it. And then if you have enough, then move on, right? Like I think a good allocation or breakdown is 50% Bitcoin, 25% in big caps, which is anything above about like 6 billion in market cap, and then 25% in mid, small, and micro caps, right? So that's kind of good guidance for newcomers in the space. Of course, you could deviate from that, but that's a pretty good breakdown. And also make sure you have cash, about 25%, 30% cash. Do you think a new party will be pro-crypto? I don't know. I don't know if they will be or not. There does seem to be more candidates now that talking more about crypto. So hopefully we get some people in charge that can see the future. Do you think Gary Gensler and Jerome Powell are working together to bring down crypto? I know Gary is. I don't think Jerome is talking to Gary. What about Render and High Street? I don't know what High Street is, Lionel. Render, I don't know. I'm still not bullish on them. Like lending GPU for rendering. You know, they got caught up in the AI hype, right? Supposedly some kind of, yeah, I don't know. I've never been that bullish on Render. I may be wrong. Maybe they do very well in the future. And they're on top of Ethereum right now. Do you think we rally tomorrow, market pump back up? You know, there's a chance of it. And I said this today. Usually after FOMC meeting, the market dumps, no matter how good it is, right? Today, NASDAQ and S&P actually okay, but Dow dumped. But the last few times I remember, after Powell said what he had to say, the market dumped, and then the next day, it actually skyrocketed. Okay, so I would not, right now the pre-market is not green, okay? But if we did somehow all of a sudden rally tomorrow, I would not be surprised because that's kind of like the motto. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Philip, love from Miami. Appreciate it. Today is a pretty good DCA day. Ethereum is below 1,700. Obviously, Bitcoin at 25,000. These are very good. XRP is below 50 cents again. You know, that verdict is coming soon, right? You got Cardano, that's down. Polygon and Matic both down. You got a lot of these are down. You go down the list, like Cosmos actually held pretty well. Down on barely nothing. And then you got like someone like Lido, that's down a lot. Arbitrum, VeChain, Near. It's all good. Good projects. Phantom. Tezos is up. Immutable X. They have close ties with Polygon. They're down big today. Yeah, there's a lot of good pickups. Skillful, appreciate that. Jeffrey, if you applied right, don't worry about it. It'll be approved. Let's go take some time. And speaking of which, let's get this up right here. Right there. I'm still excited. Starting to send out VIP cards to people, right? I know a lot of you guys are attending as well, so I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, but it's going to be a good old party, that's for sure. Who doesn't love Vegas? Is Cardano still a safe bet? Bobby, yes. I don't think Cardano or aka Cardano is going to go away anytime soon. In fact, their biggest app, which is SNEC, is kind of rallying right now, at least a little bit, right? So there's still a lot of things coming for Cardano, but it's going to take time. I got done talking to the Flux guys, Cypherpunk. That's coming up afterwards. And also WAG 2024. That's going to be a good one. They're all going to be good. In the meantime, is this. I get a lot of Do you think Coinbase will delist Cardano? No. Coinbase said they're not going to do anything. They're not going to delist anything. They're not going to stop staking. They're not going to stop custody. They're going to fight it. So that's what we want to see. We don't want to see like Robin Hoods of the world bending their knee, just giving in. We want to see projects or companies that are willing to fight. I know that's easier said than done because not everyone has the money to do so, but I'd love to see Coinbase do so. Love to see Binance do so. Love to see anyone else, Grayscale do so. Grayscale also have a Ripple. Are you bullish on Chainlink? Yeah. Why not? Pack is sad. I'm afraid to repeat what you said, but that was funny. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm so tired. I streamed way too much today. I said a lot about this guy. Not happy. But tomorrow, maybe we get better days. Like I said, the trend has been we get a down day after he speaks, and then the market rallies tomorrow after evaluating what he said. So maybe. So right now, even though it's scary and it kind of sucks, and we got more dots showing that these Fed governors are predicting higher rates, overall, Bitcoin is going to go higher. It's not going to go away, and will only get stronger. So stick with Bitcoin and stick with crypto and stick with me tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one, guys. Take care.